Hello. I am going to be dyeing a pair of these custom Converse, kind of a mid-rise shoe. They are made from canvas and they kind of fold over. They were a limited edition. So these shoes have been soaked in soda ash. It allows the Procyon dye to bond in a molecular level. I love to memorize that because it sounds cool. I wear gloves because I'm famous for forgetting to wear gloves, and then I got purple and blue hands and green and whatnot. So these shoes are going to be dyed starting with red at the toe and purple at the heel. So I'm using Professional Procyon dye, and I've got them already pre-mixed. And I start with red, like I said. Ha! I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So I removed the inner sole of these shoes. I'll re-glue them in. Simply because the glue and the soda ash, they don't like each other, and they will remove the soles, and then when you wash it out, you may ruin your soles. Don't ask me how I know that, right? All right. So like I said, the shoes are slightly damp, and I use a paintbrush. I need to actually invest in some new paintbrushes because I just using, and I always will be using, the cheap paintbrushes, but they only last so long. There's no point to a high quality paintbrush. You can use the sponge brushes, but I find paintbrushes give you a more accurate where you're laying the dye. The shoes, I let them sit for 24 hours, and tomorrow I'll wash them out. You know, I've dyed so many of these shoes, I kind of know I don't have to look to where the line is going to meet on the other side. I've done them so often. I've got it accurate. There might be a little bit of glue right next to the red line right there. It is nature of the beast. You can't obviously dye glue, or none obviously. I also dye the tongue. And in case you didn't know, the tongue of the shoe is this thing right here. That's the tongue. Isn't it funny how they give shoes body parts names? Like that's the tongue, the bottom is the heel, the inner is the sole. Shoes are alive, I guess. Everybody loves rainbows. Yes. I really do need to get a better brush. I'm saving the thicker brush for the yellow because the yellow is more fussy with if I use the same brush and I don't clean it well enough, I'm going to end up with orange, of course. Just got to dye the inside a little bit. First color is the hardest because you got to get it in there. Now, if you drop this dye on a parts of white, I'm sorry, it will dye that color. So be careful where you put the dye. And again, don't ask me how I know that. So that's shoe number 1. Now shoe number 2. Always make sure your left hand or right hand, if whatever hand you are, is clean, because it will cross-contaminate, so to speak. If you've got a little dye on your finger and you touch another area, it will spread. It's kind of like the virus. Oh, but we're not going to talk about that, are we? I love dyeing. I find it very relaxing. I have, when I do craft fairs and farmers market and the vending, like Saturday in the park, here our local farmer or our local festival, I have many puns because, of course, I value humor immensely. So I have a few, you know, when people walk into the booth, I'll say something like, "Everything you see is dyed by me," or "I live to die, ba-dum-bum. I die a little every day. I die unto self." Yeah, and then I've often had some throw back a new James Bond one that said, I live to die. Oh, can't remember. Whatever it is. Live to die another day. Whatever they are. You know, I die hard. Ha ha ha. Yeah. And you really kind of want to saturate this color or the dye at all. You want to get it really not too wet. I'm going to have to open this up. This one's a little stiff. And if my face is in this view, because I can't tell, I got a toque on. And yes, it's a toque. A toque. Number one, because I haven't washed my hair. And number two, because it's cold down here. I'm in the basement in my studio. And I don't want to be cold. I mean, I don't like getting hot, but I don't like getting cold either. Well, not too cold. Here's the red. I'm gonna wash that. Just clean water. And I am using this bandana under here. That's actually, I think it's a flour sack. Yep, flour sack. Just to clean the brush. This has been painted on. I've used it accidentally for, of course, cleaning up paint. So it's my drop cloth, so to speak. I don't want to get it on my... I could wash this mat, no problem, but I don't want to. Don't want to get it into the cut lines. With my luck, it'll spread and transverse to something else. And start with the first shoe you started again. And now we're doing orange. This will go a little quicker because it's done. And I think I'll go up halfway. I buy my dyes online. There's nobody local who sells Procyon dye. I'm kind of fussy with what brands I use, and they're really hard to find ever since C started, right? And in case you hear somebody talking in the background, that would be my son playing a game. I love orange. My next brush that I'm going to use, it'll go much quicker because it's thicker. I'm going to have to go to Hobby Lobby and get some new ones. It doesn't matter if these lines, like the red between the red and the orange, if they kind of bleed together. That's what colors do. They blend. I mean, everybody knows what red and yellow make, right? I sound like a teacher right now. Okay, class, what do red and yellow make? Orange. And what happens when we mix blue and yellow together? Green. So I guess you know what color is coming next. Not green. It was actually my brother-in-law. I learned all my colors. I will complete my sentence, I promise. I learned about art. Was my absolute favorite class in school. I had the best art teacher in high school. I'm telling you what. He passed away a few years back, but his name was Marcel Dubray. I love his name. He was French Canadian, and for those who don't know, I am Canadian. Every now and then you can hear me say about. My French slips out. See, out. But I had the best French teacher. But I have French teacher, art teacher. But I don't remember all that because, I'm 58 almost. And I don't remember what I learned in high school. Hello, Dolly. So that's where I was going in this thought. We were painting with my brother-in-law up in Canada. Hi, Dave, if you're watching. And he dyed a shirt. And at the time, he wanted something to be brown. And I said, oh, shoot, I didn't bring any brown. And he goes, well, you've got red and orange. No, what colors were it again? Orange and blue make brown. And I did not know that. Sure hope I remembered that right. Because because with my luck I just embarrassed myself. Won't be the first time, won't be the last time. And what does that say about me? About Marcel? For those who know me, I have a nickname, and it's Dory. After 30 seconds, whatever your name was that I've learned, it's gone. I do not remember names. So the only time, if I remember your name, you're either in trouble or you've made a very lasting impression. And Marcel was one. He was such a patient man. He had a love of art with all his heart. Gee, I'm a poet. Rhymer this morning. Try to get the line straight across from one side to the next. That way when it's laced up, it looks right. As soon as I get the next color, I'll do the other side of the tongue too. It doesn't really matter when it's this close to the heel, or I mean the toe, the arch. The laces, no, I leave the laces white, but the stitching, that's where I was going, is made out of cotton, so it'll dye too. Or as well. If you want to check out my Etsy shop, my name is on Etsy is Dyed Designs by Mary Jane. Custom orders welcome. I do a little bit of everything. I do, cutting on my Cricut, silk screen, shoelaces, and tie-dye. Oh, and dyeing on silk. That's where I learned this passion of mine. So the reason I like not dyeing the other side, like in here, so that when I lay it down, it doesn't bleed on the other side. Worked through. Now this side again. Glad I'm done that color. Yellow. My better brush. Make sure it's clean. Never fails. That should be good. This one first. And we're going to go up in a straight line. It's kind of difficult to get it that way when the shoes are higher topped. See how bright that is? Lemon yellow. Love it. I like to also do it upside down. This way it runs this way, not into the rubber sole. Depends what company you buy your dye from, to the mixture. Some of them you only need 2 teaspoons for a cup of water to dye, and some require a tablespoon, but like I said, it's kind of hard finding certain dyes right now, certain colors. They stopped making a certain shade of blue, the cyan, whatever, I can't pronounce it correctly. It was not available for a long time, so it affected tons of colors. Like I buy a lot of my dye from Dharma Trading. Couldn't remember. I got most of my dyes from Dharma Trading and another company called Custom Colors, but he's been out of business for a while, and I'm hoping he opens back up because I really love his dye the best. But custom colors, you have to use more dye. I don't know if they put filler in there or what. See, now I'm adding this on the back of the tongue because sometimes people put this and they show it. They have it kind of hanging out. The tongue hanging out. And I'll leave that. Don't hit. I'm not going to go the inside of the shoe. That won't matter. I kind of touched it. You saw my brush touch the yellow or the white part right there. But it won't matter because the green will hide that. Now the inside of these shoes, they're not white. They're kind of a tan color. But that won't matter so much. It'll still dye because it's cotton. Next shoe. Whoops. Oh gosh. Stay put. Stay put. Saw a drip of dye going to the table, and that's why I use a drop cloth. After this has cured, so to speak, for 24 hours, I will wash it out, rinse like crazy in cold water, and then when the water is running clear, I use hot water until it's running clear, and then I soak it in the hottest water I have, and Blue Dawn, which has Synthropol in it, which is a dye remover fixative. Can't remember which one. No surprise, right? All I know is I know what I'm doing. I may not have the right words, but I definitely know what I'm doing. I started my dyeing process in 2013. So I've been at this for 10 years. Isn't that exciting? My oldest sister, Marilyn, I went home for vacation in Canada, Canadian again, and she started talking about this new thing she had learned. She's an artist up in Canada. She's 18 years older than I am. She was actually married 2 years before I was born. Isn't that amazing? Youngest of 10 kids. That's how that happens. Anyway, she was talking to me about this new thing she had learned, and she saw my ears growing like an elephant, 10 feet wide. Man, she caught my attention when she started talking about how she dyes on silk. She was learning how. So, almost forgot the inside. So she saw how interested I was, and she took a day, and we dyed with my mom. God bless her soul. She passed 2 years ago, 94. She dyed with my sister Ruth, my sister Eileen, my two nieces Alex and shoot, no, see, names. The twin girls, they live in BC, and I can't remember her name. That's awful. Jackie, whew, saved my soul. And my sister-in-law, Karen. So we took the day, and she had her living room and dining room all set up for all these stretchers of silks, and we all dyed a little bit of something, some scarves or whatever, and she washed and rinsed it out, but she wrote everything down, how she did it and where she gets her stuff and everything, because she knew I wanted to learn how, and I give my sister the credit. So I didn't have to clean my brush very much because the yellow just makes the green brighter. Now this color. And this won't dye the patch, but it will. Kind of have to be careful around it because it likes to bleed through or like run, drip. This is Kelly green. Doesn't look very Kelly. I wonder why. I'll probably have to fast forward over to these parts that are kind of, nothing's happening here. Don't know how to edit with the YouTube, but I'll figure it out. You can learn everything on Google, right? Now this side. And the colors will run together without a doubt because of gravity. I think I'll use the yellow. Oh, there we are. Inside, I almost forgot. You know what I think I might do? I'm going to use a spare glove. Cover the toe. That would be funny. I've never done that before, but I bet it will work. That way when it leans over. Oh, make sure you wipe your hand if you touch the dye. Now to get the inside here. Because it's damp, the colors will blend. All right, this one. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I don't want too many folds. I pull it tight. Put a little more yellow on that top corner. The colors won't be as vibrant. It'll be close, but you know, it's wet and it's saturated. I will post a photo of the after. All right, the tip of the tongue. I wish I could find more of these shoes. I always use brand new, authentic Converse. Limited edition shoes are always fun because people are sometimes more willing to pay for it because they're one-ofs. All right, and now you know why I charge what I charge. These take time, and I'll put my glove on this toe too. That was a good idea. I wonder why I never thought of this before. All right, so now you can bow over, get rid of me. All right, go over here, and it's your turn. And the blue. This one first. Now I don't need to do the tongue anymore, just this. The shoes take 24 hours to cure and then 24 hours to dry after washing. So this dyeing process is really more than 48 hours. But these shoes take a little longer to dry because of all the canvas area. Now there goes the toe, or I mean the glove. That's the other reason I like taking out the sole, the inner lining of the shoe, whatever you call them. It allows you not to get dye on it. So when you put it back, it's nice and clean. All right, that one's done. Now you. And remember what I was saying about mixing the colors? If you use 2 teaspoons of yellow dye per cup of water, with blue you need 4 teaspoons. With black, depending on the company again, you're going to need 6 to 8 teaspoons of dye powder per cup for black. Black takes the most, and it's the most expensive dye to use because it's got whatever the blends are in there. It's like, say for yellow, for a pound of yellow I may pay, I don't know, off the top of my head, maybe 13, maybe less, 6. But dye is going to be triple that, or quadruple now. It's ridiculous, the prices of everything. Classic example right now is eggs, isn't it? Who wants to pay $4 for a dozen of eggs? 5, 6. Depends where you buy them, right? The inside. Oh shoot, I forgot to dye the green. Great. I will use this. Good thing I've got that. Forgot to dye the inside of that shoe. This is actually quite handy with when it's a flat area. These foam brushes work really well. Oh, I just dripped on my mat. Gotta get that. Because the foam holds so much, right? Oh, didn't clean up. Hopefully it's not going to be in the green. I'll wash it later. And this yellow is a little bit rainy right there. And right there. And right there. You're good. Alright, so I think I finished the green. What was I doing? Blue. Right. You know, I almost wish I could do that foam. And you know what? I think I will use this for the purple. Getting the dye out of there. Sure hope I'm in color. Or I mean, in color. You know I'm in color. I'm at in the screen. Alright. Now, the purple, and I can be done. Purple goes the quickest. That's why I like it. I'm going to use this foam brush. Oh, not blue. Almost forgot. Make sure there's no white bits. And the inside. And I'm going to show you a photo of why I'm glad I don't have the lining, shoe lining in there, or sole, whatever you want to call it. That's why. See all that? I hope you can see the inside. They'll never know. There's one. Fargo, don't bark. That's my dog. Hey, no bark. Go say hi. Silly dog. I guess the mailman's here. He's my dog do-line, my early dog warning defense. Nobody's coming near my house or in my house without my doggy letting me know. It's one advantage to having a small dog, right? The other one is they can sit on your lap comfortably. Yep. Everybody wants to talk to Mom when she's recording. That's how it goes, isn't it? Just like when you were, for those who have kids and they were on the phone, that was the one time everybody wanted to talk to them. Right? Can't have their attention otherwise. All right, I'm all done. Excellent. So I'm just going to leave these here. That shoe's standing up nice. So is this one. There we go. All right, let's see if I can give you a close-up of it. I'm going to get the dye in there so I don't touch it. Yeah, and still have pigments on my fingers. Figures. All right, let's see. Hopefully the recording's still on. Excellent. So, I'm going to take this off the stand. You can kind of see how bright, and that the inner lining. See how the dye that runs down in it? Yep. All right, and I will grab a photo of the finished item. Thank you for watching.